Okay, hello guys. This is our final project. It is completed. Um, I'm going to show you the program first, and I'll go over the code with you for the program. It's loading up here now, simulator's slow, but what it is it uses the Steam News API, and it just you enter a game ID, which is corresponding to the games. As you can see right here, these are what we already have, um, and this will keep track of. It'll track the most recent articles for these IDs, these games that are supported by steampowered.com. So here's once the app loads up, you starts out with a list for the select game. You can choose which game, and these games right here are saved. They're saved onto the cloud on CloudMine. Uh, so that every time the program runs, it's still they don't have to re-enter all the games. It saves what they've already been tracking, what they have stored in on the cloud. So uh, the way this works is you already have games selected here. As you can see, you can click on a game. Like here we go. You got the app ID, the game ID. There's the Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Click on it, and it'll take you and show you all the latest articles, the most recent articles on SteamPowered.com for this game. And here we go. These are all the articles that it has. And if you see something that you like, you would click that, and it will load up. It'll take you to the web page of that article. We originally had the articles on there in the list view, but it wasn't really practical. It was too small of a space to be having all that information in one little spot. So we created a web page intent there to load the web page. And yeah, so that right there. I don't know if I'm gonna wait for this to load or not. Some of it is extremely slow. So I'm probably gonna let me see, just to prove that it works. Hmm. Yep, there it is. Here we go. Here's the article we just clicked on. Counter-Strike competitive map. Click back. Go back to the app. Okay, and then also when you're in that game that you selected and you see the articles for the game, you also have an option at the bottom to remove the game. When you click this, it will remove the game from the list of the main activity window that we were just in. So I'll remove the game. Now what it's doing now is it's going and it's taking the game off the cloud, from off the cloud server there. And I used a start activity for result so that when it goes back to here it knows to reload. It reloaded the user interface here and reloaded the list view, and as you can see, the Counter-Strike game is no longer on the list. So uh, now like I said, that'll always update. That'll always, when the next time the app starts up, it'll save this. The games that are on this list are always saved on the cloud. So that was so the user doesn't have to worry about re-entering their apps in every time they start the program up. It just pulls them down from the cloud of what they had. And the next option is you can add a game. So click that. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, the way this works is you can enter the game ID up here, and below the add the game option where you enter the game ID, we also decided to insert a reference of all the IDs and the games or whatever type of articles they pertain to on Steam Powered. I mean, there's a huge amount. We wanted to put should have tried to put like we tried to do like a search. We were trying to figure out a way to do where you could start typing something in, and it would try to finish it for you for what's valuable, but that was a little bit tough. We really didn't get that far. But this is this should generate a list of stuff for you to choose from, just a reference. And, oh, there it is. Oh, I was about to say. Uh, it is definitely slow. The simulator is horrible. But then basically right here, you could just the user can scroll down, and I mean there's a huge amount of stuff on this thing. It's just vast. But this is definitely not the best way to probably display all this information, but as of right now, this is really all that I've ever worked with, that I'm kind of familiar with in this class. So uh, here it is. There's the ID number, and below it is what it's corresponding to. So if you want to see latest articles on Team Fortress 2, there's the ID number 440. You would enter it in up here. 440. And then you would click this button, add to games list, and it's gonna insert that particular ID and name into the cloud server, and then it should load back to the main activity screen. And since it's a start for result activity, it should return a marker that's the main activity node to update its list. And let's see if that works there. It should be good. Let's here it goes. So it's taking forever. But as you can see, it updated the main activity, and there's the game that we just added, the app ID. We click on it, and it should come up with, if there's articles on their API on their site, then it should bring them up. There they are. Team Fortress 2, Team Fortress, there's all the articles, and like I said, you click on the article that you're interested in, and it will create an intent, load up the web page that article's found on. And that's pretty much it. And yeah, that's it for the app. That's the basic app. That's what we got there for that. And let me take you through the code here. Here's our code. We have 3 different activities. I've got a main activity, an add activity, and a display activity. The main activity that's the main user interface that launches with the game. I use the app store. We use the cloud mine stuff. Let me see here. We got I have on that. We have list view adapters, list view. Uh, I store all the game IDs and the game names that are displayed on the list view. I use a array list for that of string type. Got the button. These are my on click view and on item click listeners. Right there, I use them. And right here for my one async test for the main activity is we'll remove the games. Or oh, I'm sorry, I'm totally giving you guys that was the display. That was on the display activity. Here we go. This is the main activity. Basically the same thing I just told you. Pretty much the same layout for the main activity and the display activity. They both have a button and a list view used to display something, and a button used to do something with the information. And for the main activity, we have a async task of games list task, and basically this will go through. This will check the cloud for games that the user has selected that they want to monitor for articles, for the latest articles, and it pulls them down, and it stores them in a array. There it is right here. Here's what it's actually getting, the information that we want off the cloud. I threw a thread sleep in here because sometimes it seems like the program doesn't want to wait for this right here to complete, for the store load all application out, for the cloud mine stuff to complete. So I put a thread sleep in there just to make sure that it waits enough time. And whenever I use the async test, I try to use the progress dialog, and here it is being dismissed and updating the adapter so that the list is updated on the user interface. That's the main activity. Next we have the other activity is the add activity. This is the screen where the user can use an edit text box that the user can enter in a game ID, and it also generates a list view of what game IDs are available on Steam. Steam's API would support it, so they can scroll through that. I mean, that is a pretty long list to scroll through, but they can. It's there for reference if they need to scroll through and see what's available. And then when they find something they like, they can enter the game ID number into the edit text, and basically it'll go through and it will right here it'll add the information to the cloud. So once it's done that, it'll well, if they enter a wrong ID and it's not supported by the API, it'll toast a message to them right here saying no match is found, and it'll ask them to re-enter it. Or else, if the match was found and it was successful, it will basically create a marker, because it was when this originally was started with the start activity for results. So I create a marker that returns back to the main activity to let it update the list view with the new game that was added. And this right here, this is basically just what creates the list view of all the games and IDs that are available for the user to enter into their list of games that they would like to view the most recent articles for from Steam's API. That's pretty basic. It's pretty much the same thing. Works just about as much as the other ones, except a lot more information to display, I think. It's all pretty much the same. And third, not least, we have the display activity. And this activity is just used to display the articles of the game. This uses HTTP requests to get the articles that pertain to a certain game ID. Let me see here. Here it is. There it goes. It's done in an async task. And that's the wrong one. Man, I'm confused just looking at this. I'm sorry. Yes, here we go. Get game news async task. What this does is this just goes through. You send it an HTTP request there, and here's the ID. It was passed from it when the user clicked on the item. It sent the ID that was in that item when they using the on-click item listener. It sent the ID number along with to the display activity when the display activity was loaded, and there's the that's fed into the URL to return in JSON format the articles that go with that particular game ID. And basically, it's just we got a bunch of input and buffer readers there to build a string of all the articles, and then we use put them back into a JSON object and cycle through that JSON object and grab the articles that we want and display them. Update the list view and display them. Dismiss the dialog when it's done, and that's it. And then this next one right here, this next async task, it's basically just loads the web page that corresponds to that game article that the user select. So that's that's it, guys. It's